This video is brought to you by EA Game Changers. Thank you so much for my copy of The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. Hey you guys, and welcome to the channel. It's been a while. I think I'm gonna start every video off like that since that's the truth always. A lot has happened since I last spoke to you guys. I bought a house, and for the past 2 months or so I've been renovating our house with my husband, and it's been a journey, and maybe that's a story for another video another time. But anyways, so eco lifestyle. So at first I wasn't super excited about this pack because like from the trailers it didn't seem very interesting, but after seeing the live stream and after playing around with it myself, it's a very good pack. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a game changer, but because I really do think as an expansion pack it really does expand the game and all the other worlds, you know, the other packs that you may have. It really affects those worlds as well. I don't know, I really like this pack. And the concept is really good. All of the build and buy objects are really good. The cast items are a little iffy. Some of the items in cast are really good, some are not really my thing, but I'm planning on doing a full build and buy overview as well as maybe cast if I have time. But yeah, so as you can tell, this build is not in the New World and it is in Windenburg. And the reason why is because when I asked you guys what you wanted to see me do for this pack, you were like, yes, eco build. And I was like, okay. And lately I've been watching a lot of architectural shows like on Netflix and stuff, and there's quite a few houses that are featured on there that are supposed to kind of champion the whole idea of being sustainable and kind of living alongside the environment instead of fighting against it, which I really loved the idea of, and I wanted to do that with this pack. Granted, I will definitely still do builds for the New World, but for this particular one, I've always wanted to do something like this, but have never really had the chance to, whether we haven't had, you know, the right objects, or we haven't had terrain tools, or we haven't had this or that. So I have everything now, and I was like, yes, I can finally do this type of build. So this particular lot is, okay, so don't make fun of me, I'm gonna butcher their last name, but the Jorgensen family, they live on the Windenburg Island, and their lot is called the Lighthouse. So I was like, wouldn't it be so cool if maybe Bjorn is a environmental engineer, and you know, he's pretty well off and he has this beautiful house on the island, since the island is supposed to be like more high-end luxury homes. So I was like, okay, so maybe like this can fit really well with the pack and what I was thinking about doing. So my story goes is that he's an environmental engineer, and it was really important to him when they designed and built this house that it kind of was built into the landscape, and that it didn't hurt the environment as much as possible. So a lot of what's in the back here is unchanged or untouched. And my other idea for this particular lot, since it's called the Lighthouse, I was thinking maybe this place used to have like an old lighthouse and it was torn down or something happened to it, so it just kind of had a few remnants of it, or at least where the foundation was. So I was thinking maybe they built on top of that, and just kind of built it into the hill, and there's still like a bunch of rocks and trees that were originally there that they didn't touch when they were constructing the house. So yeah, that was my idea for this particular build, and I really wanted to have like a lower courtyard, lower garden area with a little greenhouse. I was thinking Clara, the wife, that she just absolutely loves gardening. She loves cooking and growing her own herbs and vegetables. And so I was super excited to build a little greenhouse on the base level of the build. But yeah, I'm just doing some landscaping around, just trying to make it look really natural. I think if I had more time, I would landscape even more, but I was trying to make it look as natural as possible. And being as though they're so close to the ocean, I was thinking not a ton of plants and vegetation would be closer to the shore. So I was like, well, you know, that makes sense. But I still, if I had time, I would have definitely done a little bit more detailing, I think. But it turned out really good, I think, and I was really excited to do this because I haven't built in so long. I was kind of building a little bit last week just to get my bearings. I haven't had a computer in actually a really long time. When we moved, my motherboard was sadly damaged, so my beautiful desktop PC had to be retired for other reasons as well. So RIP PC. But I was like, I have to do something because this pack is coming out and I need to make videos and build. All we have is my husband's laptop, which is a very good laptop. I'm not complaining. But he had to outfit it, and we have like this thing that plugged into it to hold an extra graphics card so I could play and all of this stuff. It looks like, I don't know, like a sci-fi thing. There's so many wires everywhere, plugged into the laptop, plugged into other things, but it works, and I'm so grateful that it does. Oh, right here is one of my favorite parts of the build. It's like a two-story view from the staircase that goes down, and it's all open, and it leads down to the very lower levels that is built into the ground. I've seen this in a few different houses, like on Pinterest and like on the shows that I've been watching. I love it because it really helps to bring light to the bottom floors if they're built into the ground like this. And I think that's one of the troubles of doing a house like this, is it's really hard to get light down there. So you do what you can to get it down there so it doesn't feel like a dungeon or a basement or anything like that. But yeah, so anyway, and then we found out that the drive on my old computer was not accessible with the laptop, so we had to borrow one of our friends' PC towers to get the files off of that drive and then transfer it over to the laptop. It's been a process, you guys, but we're here, everything's good. How have you guys been? I hope that you guys have been well. I've just been renovating my house, which, well, I guess I can tell you, we have time. So when we bought the house, COVID happened. So, word of advice, don't buy a house when there's a global pandemic. It's not a good idea. Anyway, we did it, and we found out that the house was like not in good repair. It was neglected. There was a lot more that we had to do to fix it, and yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. A lot of the things that were in the house were like things that the previous owners should have fixed, you know, correctly, but they just did a quick fix and hoped for the best, so we were left to fix those things. And there was also a really bad bug problem on the other unit, So we bought a duplex. We're living in one side, and then we're gonna rent out the other side, which is great on paper, but it's been a struggle in a journey to get it all good. It's looking so much better now. You wouldn't believe how awful the previous tenants lived in this place. Like, it was so dirty, it was so gross. I don't understand how they lived like that. So we cleaned it all up, we painted everything, we got rid of all of the grossness on the walls. So all we have to do is finish installing the kitchen and finish painting. And I believe our new tenants are going to be moving in mid-June, like this month. So I'm excited for that. And they are actually acquaintances of ours, so we know that they're good people, and I'm excited for them to be here. So I tried to use this little sink that came with the new pack. It has a very cute hose attached to the side, and it's supposed to be an outdoor sink or in a greenhouse like this, but I couldn't really find any room for it, unfortunately. So I was like, man, I was a little disappointed about that, but I was super excited to have these vertical planters that come in the new pack. I tested them out a little bit, and how they work is basically like the planters already in game, except they're vertical and they're on the wall there. So you would just purchase your seeds, and then you would put them on top of the planter on the wall and have your sim plant them. And they plant them just, as normal. And I really love that, because you don't always have the space for a giant planter outside or in a greenhouse. So this is such a great space saving option. One of the things I love about this pack is the wall textures, the new wall textures, the wood textures, the color swatches for the furniture, and the doors, the windows, a 6-tile sliding glass door. Let me tell you, that is a dream come true. I still wish that maybe there's a version where the door was always open or something. I don't think they've ever done something like that. Only with the windows from Jungle Adventure, I think. So I thought it would be really cute to put the fertilizer bags in here, which seemed fine from this angle, but when you go inside and you get a closer look, they're actually floating. All of them are. So, and I didn't notice that until later. So don't look too closely at those, okay? It's fine. So yeah, right here I just wanted the courtyard area to look really cute and kind of manicured almost. These are stone tiles from Get Together, the circle ones and the rectangular ones. So I wanted to just have maybe terrain paint or a grass texture there. I wanted just a regular grass, but unfortunately the way that I built it with a foundation to flatten the terrain there, I couldn't really remove it without spending hours trying to mess with the terrain. So I was like, I'll just leave it. But I really like how it looked, and I really love the new grass textures in this pack. I think they're more similar to the environment's grass textures. So if you use them on a roof or on a balcony or something like that, then it's not too different, and it doesn't really look synthetic, which is one of the things that I didn't like about the grass textures that we had in game already. One of my other favorite objects in this pack is those loungers there that I put on the balcony. They're so nice. They're not chunky. You know what I noticed about this whole thing is all of the furniture is not chunky. It's thinner, it's sleek, it's modern, it looks like CC, and I love it. I'm so excited for it. Here I'm just messing with that stairwell. I really wanted to size up these amazing chandeliers. They look like they were recycled metal lanterns or something, which I really liked. So yeah, I was just messing with that. And then this is the living room area. I really wanted it to be light and airy and very minimal, just like the rest of the house. I imagine that this family is maybe Swedish or Norwegian, somewhere around there. So I think their aesthetic is very clean and modern and all that. I love these chairs so much. I think they are fabricated chairs. I don't remember, but the tiny living stuff and Seasons and Discovery University work so well together with this pack. I found myself using them a lot throughout the whole build, and that, my friends, in the corner was a new plant. There are so many plants in this pack. It made me so happy. One thing though is I really wish, and I think you'll see it later, there are these amazing modern shelves that hang on the wall, but the plants that are on them are not in the library, unfortunately. So it was kind of a bummer because I really wanted to use those in other places. They're very good. They're amazing, but they're stuck on the shelf. So it's kind of not conducive to if you were trying to build something else and those shelves didn't really match, but the plants did, kind of thing. That's kind of a bummer. So this little area under the stairs is Elsa's playroom, and it's just off of the living room. So I wanted to use a rug that was similar in color to the living room, just so it looked like one cohesive space. And I imagine her being very creative and loving to play. So, and her room isn't really like big enough to put this stuff in. So, it's kind of cute to have her own little area under the stairs here. So as you can tell, she loves animals, especially dogs. And so I tried to reflect that with all of her stuff. And as you can tell, that I put a little plant there, and my thought was maybe it's like her first plant that she's learning to take care of. And I love this little dollhouse that comes with the pack. It's like made out of cardboard and looks like it's hand painted. So I imagine that like maybe her dad like helped her build it, and then her mom helped her paint it. So yeah, it's so cute. I think it's one of my favorite dollhouses that we have, probably. So this is, man, what is her name? Sophia. Sophia is their teen daughter, and I imagine that she is maybe a junior or senior in high school, and she had, like, her big dream is to get into the music program at Brightchester. So I didn't know that she was a musical genius until I gave them a makeover, the little townie makeover earlier today, and I found out that she was a musical genius and that she loves music. So I had already like thought that she wanted to go to Brightchester and all that, but I wasn't really sure what her personality was like. So after I found out she was a musical genius, then I was like, oh, I should put a violin, like maybe she's super into violin. And so I swapped out, I think I put a backpack near the dresser here, and I swapped that out for a violin, and I was super happy to see when I was taking screenshots that she was practicing in front of the mirror, and I was like, yes, I love it. So yeah, and I switched out this bed for, I think it's a fabricated one. Oh man, you guys, like that's another thing with this pack, like you're gonna get a whole other set of objects because of the whole fabrication crafting process. It's so good. It's so good. Like all of the objects are very modern looking. Some of them even look kind of mid-century, which, you know, I love. So yeah. Oh, there's a backpack. Yeah, switch that out for a violin. So when I found this rug, I was like, yes, this is perfect. Brings out the blue and the yellow from the bed. It has a little bit of pink for the lamp there and the flamingo. Maybe flamingos are her favorite animal or something. So I was super excited for that. I ended up putting a desk there instead, so that way she can have a place to be on her laptop and do her studies and apply to Brightchester. I think she would be very crushed if she was accepted into Foxbury instead. So that's my story. Of course, twinkly lights. What teen doesn't like twinkly lights? I mean, what person doesn't like twinkly lights? So here's that little desk from Discover University, I think, and her laptop, and this pink chair is one of the found objects that you can find by looking in the dumpster, which is so cute, and I think it's a throwback from Sims 2, so that's pretty cool. On to Elsa's bedroom. So Elsa's bedroom, I was thinking that she would have a very clean, kind of like her mom decided on what was in her room. She didn't really have too much say about it. Kind of the same thing with Sophia, honestly. There is some things that she wanted, like these trees, but her mom is very like clean, and she's a perfectionist, so everything has to look just so. So yeah, that's kind of how it is, and they do have some like of their personality in here though. I made sure to do that. This is a toddler bed, I think. I was like, man, that would be so cool for her, but I think it's a toddler bed. I ended up switching this, although I did like the green because it brought out the leaves in the trees, but I decided against this bookcase because I really liked the fabricated one that comes in this pack better, so definitely swap those out. Here it is, and it does have some slots. Not all of them are usable though, just, you know, like always. So I was thinking that she loves soccer. I think that she's on a soccer team at her school, and she's doing really well with that. And one of her traits is, I think she's a genius or like a whiz kid. She's super smart. She loves school. She loves space. She loves learning, and she loves soccer. So when I think she already had like in her athletic wear, it looked like a soccer uniform, so I thought that was so perfect. So this is the kitchen, and again, I was thinking about Clara and Bjorn, how they're very like clean and minimalist in their approach to design for their home. So I decided to go with the kitchen set from Island Living, which is probably my favorite kitchen set of all time. It's so good, and like the fountain counter, I think is called, where it goes over the side. Love it. I did have some issue with getting everything to fit at first because it's kind of a small space. I unfortunately couldn't do like an island in the center with like kind of like a breakfast bar, but I didn't think that was too much of an issue because I thought the dining table was could be pretty functional for a more formal gathering or just kind of a laid back kind of thing, so I wasn't too bothered by it. That dining table is from this pack, and I love it. I love so many objects in this pack. They're so good, and I can't wait to go more in depth about them with you guys in a later video. So this little area, the mezzanine, I guess it would be, I just decided to put a small desk with a computer, like the family computer, just so the family can use it in the open space. I thought that was a good place for it. And of course, these windows, I love these windows, and you guys, the whole like moving doors and windows wherever you want, like that's changed my life almost as much as the size up and down thing that we got recently. Like, I can't even tell you how much it's changed my life. So up here is the master bedroom, and you might be thinking, but Irrele, there's a ladder. And okay, so the thought for this originally was to have either Elsa's or Sophia's room up here, because I thought it would be fun to have a ladder go up to their room. But this room ended up being the largest room, and there wasn't really any room in the lower floors for a master bedroom. So I was like, well, it's not that big of a deal. You know, I'm sure it's still fun as an adult. So my idea for it was like, yeah, it'll keep them young and fit, and they have to climb up the ladder or slide down. I think that would be so fun. I would have that. So I was fine with it after I thought about it for a little while. But yeah, so this up here is Bjorn and Clara's room and master bath. I did want to show you a little bit of the master bath here, because I didn't show the other bathrooms. I just have so much footage, you guys. And excuse my voice. I haven't done a voiceover in a long time. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again, EA, for giving me early access. And I love you guys, and I will see you again soon.